Thank you very much, Muslim Institute. Thank you very much, Excellencies Sahibzada Sultan Ahmad Ali Sahab. Distinguished audience, I have put together a small presentation. I think most of it would be a repetition of what has already been shown to you, but nonetheless, so today we sit here together to commemorate the 32nd anniversary of the Khojaly Massacre in Nagorno-Karabakh. And if some of you may recall, it was the same time when another genocide was taking place in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Muslims were being killed, and there was a very famous massacre in Srebrenica, where thousands of Muslim young men were killed and many women were raped, and there was a mass dislocation of population. And that was one event in which UN troops sat silently and saw the massacre take place. In most massacres and genocides, usually people do not act. The outside actors do not act. They let the people get killed. So this is for, if there are any students around, I hope there are. This is the map of the area of our discussion today, Azerbaijan and Armenia. And in the middle, in the slightly darker shade, is the area of Nagorno-Karabakh, which was an enclave inside Azerbaijan, but now it's part of Azerbaijan. So on the west, you see the Caspian Sea. The scheme of presentation would generally be about Pakistan-Azerbaijan's relationship, brief description of the Khojaly genocide, and I would also like to touch about the genocide in Gaza, as did His Excellency Sahibzada Sultan Ahmad Ali. So Pakistan and Azerbaijan, these two countries enjoy very good friendly relations based on historical traditions. And I'm going to show you a slide of what I mean by historical traditions after this. Pakistan is one of the first states to recognize the independence of Azerbaijan on December 12, 1991, and Pakistani President then Farooq Laghari Sahab was the first head of the state who visited Azerbaijan. Pakistan is the only country in the world that does not recognize Armenia. This is one distinction that Pakistan has. Azerbaijan supports the peaceful resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir issue in accordance with the resolutions of UN Security Council. And Pakistan and Azerbaijan have very close military ties. Pakistan is now selling JF-17 Thunder aircraft to the Azerbaijanis. Next slide, please. This is what I meant when I said we have historic relationship with Azerbaijan. This is the Multani Caravanserai in Baku. This was constructed in 14th century. So people from our parts of the world were indulging in trade activities with the Azeri people. So we come on to the genocide in Khojaly. This is a monument which has been constructed in the Netherlands. This was constructed in 2008 by a society which represents the interests of Azeris, Turks, and of course the Azerbaijani government. So if you go to Netherlands, please go there and pay your respects to the martyrs of Khojaly. A brief description of the Khojaly massacre. It has already been explained very eloquently in the video clip which was shown. It took place on the 26th of February 1992 in then Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast. The population there was 63,000 people, but I think in the presentation it was said 1 million. Perhaps that was a more correct number. There was events already explained in the video clip and also by Chairman Muslim Institute, mass killing of Azeri civilians by Armenian forces and the 366th CIS motorized regiment in the town of Khojaly. It became the largest single massacre throughout the entire Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, and this took place in the first Nagorno-Karabakh war. The town was subjected to daily shelling and total blockade by Armenian forces during the first Nagorno-Karabakh war. Without supply of electricity, gas or water, it was defended only by 160 lightly armed men hardly any resistance to the Armenian army. The Armenian forces, along with some troops of the former Soviet 366th Regiment, launched an offensive in early 1992, forcing almost the entire Azerbaijani population of the enclave to flee, and they committed unconscionable acts of violence against the civilians as they fled. The massacre was one of the turning points during the first Nagorno-Karabakh war. How can we forget the genocide which is taking place in Gaza right now? It started on October 7 last year. It continues. Despite fervent appeals by the world at large, the Israelis are not willing to go for what they call a humanitarian ceasefire, if nothing else. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed. More than half of them are women and children. This is not only a crime against humanity. It's a shame on all of us. I'm sorry, myself included. I am a former military man, and it pains me, really pains me, the way they are going about systematically killing women, children, going into hospitals because they feel that Hamas cadres are hiding there. It's only an excuse. So most of the 2.5 million population of the small sliver of land which we call Gaza Strip are now hiding in Rafah, which is also being systematically bombarded. And even yesterday, as per the morning news, 86 people have been killed. So we sit silently, Muslim Ummah notably, and while crimes against humanities are being committed. So as we remember the martyrs of Khojaly, let's also offer a prayer for our hapless brothers and sisters who are being killed in Gaza. I hope this genocide comes to an end soon. Thank you very much for listening to me.